Hello people, this is going to be a real quick one. I wanted to show you a graphic. Fix healthcare. So the idea here, and I'll turn the camera around in a minute so you can see the words right, but the idea here is to create a graph that would tell you what you needed to know. Citizens could work on the problem. And here's what it would look like. You'd start with a ranking of whatever costs the most in healthcare. So whatever that is, I don't know if it's hospital expenses or medical equipment or tests or whatever it is. But you put them in order from the biggest expenses to the smallest, and you rank them. Let the public know. Then you say which companies are already working on technologies or systems that would lower the costs in this specific item. So then you draw a line and say, okay, this startup would do it, this startup. And then the public, the government, and everybody else can focus on these guys and say, all right, the startups, what do you need to actually succeed? Is it money? Is it attention? Is it customers? Do you need some regulations temporarily suspended? How can we make this work to get that down? Then each of the expenses would have a different set of startups, probably. But in some cases, there might be some expenses that can be fixed more by a regulation change than startups. So it might be a combination. So the government might say, okay, for this expense, the government will temporarily suspend some rules, maybe for some test case, a pilot or something, so that they don't go crazy. But here it is. Here's the reason that Congress is the wrong tool to solve healthcare. Because what I'm doing right now is the only logical, well, maybe the only practical way to get to better healthcare, and nobody's doing anything like this. All right. So I'll say it again. It's the only way you can get there is to identify the expense, identify which solutions are likely to work on that, and then put resources toward them. Congress is doing nothing like that. Nothing. Any regular company would be doing this automatically. This is business 101. It doesn't get simpler than this. You figure out where your problems are, you rank them. That's the column on the left. Then you figure out what your potential solutions are to those problems, and then you put resources on the ones that look good. What do you see like that happening out of Congress? Nothing. All right, I'm going to keep this short, but the point is that Congress has now proven that they are the wrong tool for solving healthcare. It's going to have to come from the people, because the people can ignore the big money interests and come up with a plan that we like. And here's the thing. This has never been true in the past, but it's certainly true now, that if the public came up with a plan that was just really good, and the experts looked at it and said, this is way better than anything Congress came up with, do we have a president that could sell that now? Yes, we do. We have a president who could sell the living shit out of that right now. We've never had that before. So this is the first time in American history, I'm not a historian, so I might be wrong about that, but it seems to me the first time ever we could just ignore Congress until we need them to pass a law and just say, here's our plan from the people, here's our president. President sells the plan to Congress, and then the people say, if you want to get reelected, you better pass our plan. So step one is what I diagrammed on the board there. First, you have to figure out your priorities, figure out who's working on it, and just start digging in and figure out what laws need to be changed in order for any of this to work. All right, that's the plan. That's all I got to say for now. Don't win small, but when you can win.